Well, I think that captain gave in far too easily.
I definitely want a refund from the cad.
Hello, my little captives. How are you doing?
What's the meaning of this, Kingpiece? Is this some pathetic attempt at cheating so that you can win the bet?
Piers, calm down. I've already won the bet. I've been to Dinsey Island.
I don't believe it. How did you get there first?
It was quite simple, really. While you were messing around trying to charter a ship in London, I bribed the harbour master to let my ship through the blockade. I had a massive head start.
Yes, this ship of yours. What manner of vessel is it?
It's a genuine antique, but since it was second-hand, it was obviously cheaper than buying one new. And it came fully crewed by men who appreciate my way of doing things.
Yes, pirates. I can see that. But if you've won the bet, what do you want with me?
Well, when I got to the island, I met this affable chap called Dr. Dinsey, who, strangely enough, you neglected to mention when you proposed this journey, Piers, you naughty boy.
You met Dr. Dinsey?
Yes. We got on like a house on fire. I really admire what he's planning to do with his gene machine and, well, to cut a long story short, we've teamed up. I said that I would track down the people who were trying to thwart his plans, and he will make me commander of his armies. And as you are no doubt aware, he who controls the mutant hordes will control the planet.
You're as balmy as he is.
Oh, Piers, can't you see that genetic engineering is the future? Imagine cows crossed with elephants. Think of the rump steaks you could have.
Think of the cowpats.
Imagine humans crossed with sheep. How docile they'd be.
Actually, I remember reading about a lonely farmer who was trying to do something like that.
Kingpiece, you're sick. What you're suggesting is immoral, degrading, and it goes against all of God's will.
But don't you see? Using the gene machine will make us gods.
So where do we fit in? Why haven't you killed us if you think that we're a threat?
Isn't it obvious? The doctor needs raw materials for his experiments. You will be the next victims of the gene machine.
Is that the gene machine?
Don't be silly, Mossop. It's some sort of flying machine. We're dealing with a mad doctor here. Goodness knows what other things he's invented.
Rafe, my boy, back at last, and I see you afford guests.
I have indeed, Doctor. Allow me to introduce Piers Fanshawe, gentleman and would-be hindrance to our plans.
And what about the fat one?
Just a common servant, not worth caring about.
I say so. He can't talk about me like that.
I'm afraid he's right, Mossop. It is important to remember your place in the pecking order, no matter what your situation.
Sorry, sir. I'll bear that in mind in future. What's left of it at any rate.
Doctor, I've heard so much about your plans, but very little about the man behind them. It puzzles me as to why you seem to have such a grudge against humanity.
Since you ask, Mr. Fanshawe, and because you are not long for this world, I will recount to you the distressing story of a young scientist cheated of the chance to be successful.
Oh, no. Now you've started him off again.
20 years ago, I was working as a laboratory assistant at the Royal Scientific Institute. I was the brightest worker there. I studied in my spare time and did all my work with efficiency and civility. Then, one cold December afternoon, my life changed forever. I was working with a scientist, an absent-minded idiot. Albert Tipple was his name.
Tipple? But we...
Mossop, I don't think the doctor is interested in what you have to say, if you understand what I mean.
Anyway, while I was otherwise occupied, Tipple accidentally poured the results of his latest experiment into my cup of tea instead of into the flask beside it. When I finally drank my tea, I was taken so ill that all my hair fell out and never grew back. Any of it.
But it was an accident.
I was ruined. Everybody laughed at me behind my back. I became a recluse, trying desperately to find a cure for my affliction. Eventually, I stumbled across the idea of genetic recombination so that I could regrow my hair. But the other scientists said it was a silly idea, that it would never work. They laughed at me even more.
But you made genetic recombination succeed. You proved them wrong.
Oh no, they were right. I couldn't fix my hair. But I could fix them. In the course of my research, I worked out the plans for my gene machine and how I could use it to take over the world.
How did you manage to build it all by yourself? You must have had help.
I joined forces with a fellow sociopath, Captain Nematode. He and his men brought my equipment to this island, where I could be left in peace. We struck a deal. The oceans could be his, and dry land was mine.
So, what do you have in store for us? If you're going to put us into your machine, please let Mossop go first. We have a contractual agreement as master and servant that he has to die before I do.
That will come later, gentlemen. Right now, you're just in time for a little demonstration of my amazing gene machine. Today, we are experimenting with flight so that my armies can bring a new terror to the battlefield. Death from the skies.
This should be good.
Witness the vicious attack dog, prized by the criminal fraternity for its innate savagery. Witness the hunting falcon, a quick and ruthless killer trained to hunt the target of your choice. Both experts in their field, but imagine what would happen if one combined their most dangerous attributes. Rafe, throw the switch, please.
Right-ho, Doctor.
Behold, my creation!
Good Lord.
Right, the show's over for now. Put them in one of the cages, Rafe. I will deal with them later.
Well, that's it, sir. We will be put into that machine and be transmogrified into something ghastly.
Look on the bright side, Mossop. In your case, whatever you are turned into will doubtless be an improvement.
I'd just like to say, it's been an honour working for you, sir.
We're not finished yet, my dear chap. I'll find a way out of this. If I don't get back to England alive, I don't even want to think about what Mirabella will do to me. We'll have to get out of this cage first before we can leave this cave. My guess is that the lever controls the cage doors in here. I can't reach that switch from in here. That looks like one of Dinsley's early experiments. A resounding failure, I suspect. Hey, ugly person.
Oh, me?
No, I'm talking to your better-looking friend. Of course I'm talking to you. Good grief, you're stupid as well as cosmetically challenged.
Yeah.
Let us out!
No. I'm not supposed to do that.
I need to go to the toilet.
You've got to go where you're sitting, like I do.
I want a separate cell. I can't lodge with the servants.
I can put you in a cage with one of the other animals if you want.
No thanks. At least I know what kind of animal Mossop is. I'll talk to you later. I'm too busy being incarcerated. Looks like a victim of Dinsy's experiments. There's no point in talking to that. Ugh. What kind of horrible, slimy creature is that?
I don't think we want to know, sir.
Psst, psst. I don't know what you are, but help us get out of here and I'll try to help you. Did it hear me?
I don't know, sir. Maybe it did, and it just hasn't got a mouth to answer with. I wonder what the rest of it looks like.
Good point, Mossop. Actually, I'm not sure I want to see what it looks like at all. It might be horrible. Considering I don't even know what's on the other end of that tentacle, any form of attack would be quite foolish. Looks like a victim of Dinsy's experiments. There's no point in talking to that. It's a solid lock. He's not important. He's my manservant. This is another fine mesh you've got us into.
Sorry, sir.
How shall we escape, Mossop?
I don't know, sir. As you are aware, I have little capacity for creative thought and absolutely no initiative in situations requiring quick thinking and rapid response to external stimuli.
You didn't think of that yourself now, did you, Mossop?
Correct, sir. I went into one of those free personality assessment booths on the Old Kent Road.
Oh, I know what you mean. The ones that are designed to recruit you into strange cults that require half your disposable income.
Exactly, sir. But after they tested me, they said they didn't want me to join.
Because you didn't have enough money?
No, they said I would be disruptive to their karma.
So, what shall we do next, Mossop?
I wouldn't like to say, sir. I'm sure you've a good plan as usual.
I have nothing more to say to you.
Righty-ho, sir.
Do you do tricks, or can you only drool?
What do you mean?
Well, do you fetch a stick, roll over and dive for your country, that sort of thing?
I've never tried.
Would you like to learn?
Yeah.
All right, we'll start with something simple, like a somersault.
How do I do that?
Right, you start by taking a long run up to get some speed, so step back a few feet.
To here?
Just a bit further. I guess it understood me, Mossop.
How horrible. Grabbed by the tentacles. Are you going to free that creature for saving us, sir?
Not just yet. You saw what it did to our captor. We'll let it out later, much later. Kingpiece and his cohorts are still out there. We've got to make the most of the fact that they don't know we've escaped. If I do that, I'll alert Kingpiece and his ruffians to my new freedom.